Hey, Vibrant Life Center peeps. I want to talk about childhood fevers today. I read a research thing. I thought it was February. I was just searching for it to share it with you. Came out this year. But I found a couple things referencing the same topic in July. And the gist of it is, we have been told since we were kids, it's generations now, that you have to medicate, you have to give your kids Tylenol or ibuprofen if they have a fever. And it turns out, and the idea was, you did not want your child to have a febrile seizure, because having a febrile seizure could result in more seizures and perhaps even epilepsy. So that's been the thought since I was a kid. And back in, probably the 50s, I don't think it was done in the 60s. 50s used to give people aspirin, and that turned out really bad. So now we're ibuprofen, Tylenol to mitigate fevers. Antipyretics are called. And the tools are Tylenol and ibuprofen. Anyway, the gist of all this research, tens of thousands of cases, was that it makes no difference if you medicate the fever, if you take the kid's temperature and give the child ibuprofen or Tylenol, it does not change the outcome for whether or not they have a seizure. And so we've been doing it for decades, for generations now, and it has no effect. Now, I was just reading the NIH version, National Institutes of Health, I believe, and they were talking about, well, the pharmacist should counsel the parents on the fact that, it doesn't make any difference, give your kid Tylenol, ibuprofen, it's not gonna make any difference. But be aware, of course, that fever may be impending meningitis or something more sinister. Well, here's the goofy part about that. If you give your child ibuprofen or Tylenol, they're more likely to have meningitis or pneumonia or whatever develops after that, because the ibuprofen and the Tylenol interfere with the fever. The fever was the body's healthy response. It's healthy to have a fever. It's the body's healthy response to a pathogen, a virus or bacteria that is trying to invade and take over. So if you're going to interfere with the body's adaptation and fight, if you're going to tie one hand to the immune system behind your back, your kid's going to be sicker longer and more likely to have complications. And so that's the weird part about the advice from this, government publication, where they point out that it makes no difference for giving your kid ibuprofen or Tylenol, but do so anyway. Be careful, because then meningitis or pneumonia might be, the end result. Well, here's the real thing. In a chiropractic lifestyle, your body doesn't make mistakes. Your baby, your toddler is not having some fever going off the rails and the body not doing the right thing. It's doing exactly the right thing to fight the virus or bacteria. It's doing exactly what it needs to. Us sticking the thermometer in the ear, seeing 101 and not liking it and giving the kid a chemical to stop that process is the problem. That's what makes kids sick. Wasn't sick in the first place, has a bacteria attacking him, was doing the correct things, like having a sliver and you see it swells up around it with pus. It's doing exactly what it needs to. That's not sick. That's exactly what it needs to. That's not sick. So, but we make them sick by giving them ibuprofen and Tylenol and interfering with it, and they get sicker longer. And now you have even more opportunistic infections to deal with. So here's the thing. What do you do with the kid with the fever? Well, you want them comfortable. If they're really, in pain or something, okay, Tylenol, ibuprofen as a pain reliever, to analgesic so they're not miserable. That would be bad parenting to let your kid be miserable. But it's also bad parenting just to measure this one aspect and, the temperature's high in here, you're getting a drug now because we don't like the temperature. That's not good parenting. So what is good parenting? If your kid is sick, needs an extra boost, bring your child in, get adjusted. You get adjusted, your white count goes up. It actually helps you fight the infection faster. Good parenting, no crazy, Pop-Tarty, Fruit Loops kind of meals for the kid. Just good food. Make sure the kid goes to bed on time. Take care of your kid that way. That's a chiropractic lifestyle. We call that the chiropractic lifestyle. Those kids will grow up healthy. That's how you're designed to grow up. It's a miracle, that we're here with 10 fingers and 10 toes from one cell and then two and then four and 8 and 16 and 32 and 6. With 10 that's impressive stuff. Didn't need Tylenol and ibuprofen to do that. So doesn't need it today just because you measure 101 degree temperature. So anyway, that's the hot tip for today. Chiropractic lifestyle. Keep your kids healthy. We're here for you. Vibrant Life Center, 651-777-3611. See you soon.